Richard Nixon was president when this guy first walked into the classroom as a teacher, and that was at the old Albuquerque High School campus on Central Avenue and Broadway.
And of course, we're pleased to welcome John J. Lopez to New Mexico Style. Yay. Good morning.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning.
So, yeah, you've been teaching social studies for a long time.
A long time. I have been at it since I started. I graduated in 1971 from UNM and went right to work.
And you just missed your wife's graduating class, you told
That's
me.
right. I actually went to teach in Minnesota, and my wife graduated in '72 from Albuquerque High School, but I was not teaching there.
Well, it worked out.
So yeah, and then I met her later on. Which really worked out, yes.
It did work out. Well, what I think is so interesting is you've been teaching in the same classroom, not just the same school, the same classroom since the school opened.
Yeah, since the new school opened, I have the pleasure, and I mean that sincerely, the pleasure of being the one of the last people to teach at that old Albuquerque High School building. Okay.
And what was the year? I'm sorry.
That was the last year was '73, '74.
Okay.
'74 was the last graduating class from the old Albuquerque High School.
Wow.
And we moved over to the new one, and I have the pleasure of being one of the only people that's been there all the years that new one's been open. So
that's fabulous.
I actually enjoy what I do, and so I'd like to stay as long as I can. And I have one more year that I want to stay because my grandson is going to be going there next year.
Oh, how neat!
And I have a son that teaches there right now, so we're going to have 3 generations at Albuquerque High School.
What does your son teach?
He's actually the head special ed teacher right now at Albuquerque High School. Yeah.
Very good. So you've been there so many years. I'm sure you've seen lots of changes. You know, no cell phones back then, no pagers back then, or iPads or anything like that. So how has it been? What has it been like witnessing the changes?
Yeah.
Well, obviously styles change. You know, the way they clothes. When I first got there, the fros were in, and the naturals. In fact, you would not believe it, but I actually had a natural.
No.
I had hair once upon a time. And, I was young and had hair, and but besides the fashion, lingo.
Sure.
Lingo. Words that, you know, little idioms and things like that change a lot.
So interesting.
But the curriculum has changed.
Yes, how has that curriculum changed? I was interested in that.
The curriculum has changed. We have when I first got there, the only classes they had to take in social studies was U.S. history and some other class they got to pick.
Oh, really?
But that's changed big time now. Now they have to take 4 years of social studies now to graduate. So now they have to take New Mexico history. They have to take government. They have to take economics. They have to take a world history.
That's good, though.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's very good changes have come.
Well, they say that teaching keeps you young. Has it helped you keep up with the times, with all the changes and the lingo?
You have to. You have to.
Nobody's saying out of sight anymore, right? They're not like, out of sight, man. Nobody says that anymore. Now
I run into people my age that they don't even want to touch a computer. See, and I am ready to go with those. You know, I'm right up to date with all that.
That's great.
So you have to, because you have to keep up with what's going on. And,
what about music?
What they're doing.
How has the music changed?
The music's changed big time. Of course, I personally am still stuck in the '60s, but in the, you know, of course the music's changed from that early '70s when we had those rhythm and blues kind of music, and now we're getting to the real radical Lady Gaga stuff.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping up with the times.
I know.
He sure
you have
is.
to. Like I said, you have to.
He's like pop culture kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And you know what else is really interesting about you is you also managed to stay physically active because you coach sports as well, don't you?
I was actually the baseball coach at the old Albuquerque High School, and then I was the baseball coach at the new Albuquerque High School. So I made that transition for baseball, coached some football also.
Oh, that's great.
Assistant football, and I've also done some other things, like I've been activities director there.
Oh, that's great.
I did the student government there for about 22 years.
Yeah, you helped aspiring young campus politicians, right?
I did. My claim to fame is, of course, Eric Griego. He was my student.
Really?
And, you know, Eric's running for House of Representatives is coming.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, so you're an
So
no wonder you're
I don't know if I
teaching
inspired him. Eric, you're out there. I hope I did.
Well,
but, I
you know,
talk to
you
Eric
can
all
say
the
it on
time.
TV now.
Yeah, I
You were
talk
the
to
man
him.
that inspired.
I don't know if I did.
Well,
or
you
didn't.
know, and I don't know that teachers get a lot of credit for it, but they really are the inspiration.
Absolutely. No, I mean, everyone remembers their favorite teachers, and
Absolutely.
now you're Teacher of the Month. I mean, we love to hear that you're getting an award and being recognized.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate that coming from Pepsi, who does sponsor that,
Yes.
and I appreciate APS. Actually, my principal is the one that picked me because they go they go to different schools and ask the principal to give them a Teacher of the Month. So my principal, Mr. McCorkle, did grant me that honor and that privilege, and I'm really happy to be given that honor.
Well, we're happy you got it too. Now you're an author as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was on one of those bucket list things.
What
you know,
don't you
know,
do?
No. It's one of those bucket list things. You know, you make those kind of things, and I did say that when I was younger. I said I do want to write a novel. I do want to eventually have something printed, and they said write what you know about, and so I wrote about the '60s.
Right.
Again, I'm stuck on the '60s.
That's okay.
I really am.
That's
and
okay.
I wrote about
Yeah.
the '60s. I wrote about a young man who wanted to become a priest, and all the obstacles he had to go through. And the biggest reason why I did that is because I saw the Catholic Church change in the '60s, and I wanted to write that. I wanted to document that and how that affected people. And I know it had an effect on me, and I wanted to see if we could get that in writing.
Yes.
And
Well,
so I had this book published. It's called Pues Llámame Padre. It's Spanish, but it's in English. It translates just Call Me Father, and it's about
Love it.
somebody
Well,
becoming a priest.
We'll
We
get that
appreciate
information
that.
to you on our website. Thanks
Yeah.
so much for
Sure.
coming in.
Yes, John
pleasure.
Lopez,
Truly my pleasure.
legendary teacher here in
Oh,
Mexico.
I don't know about that, but it's been my pleasure.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
congratulations. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Thank
being
you.
with us. And stick around. You'll like this.
Okay.
Yeah.